Levels good. Everything's fine.
Yo, what's that, Ben?
I said, no, I was just saying. I was just making sure. Are you on yet?
Are you on? I'm so on.
So rocked up right now, bro. That's 70.
What is this? Episode 8. DJNYC, welcome back, folks. I got murdered last week, but we'll let the co-host Yinzy F Baby talk about that. Yinzy, what's the F stand for this week, pal?
The only thing hotter than me, which is fish grease.
Wow.
Let me just talk. Actually, you know what I'm going to do? Clear. Everybody clear out. I'm sending everyone to the corner.
ISO.
I'm taking 23 seconds and I'm getting to the rim and I'm fucking yamming it. Can we just go back to what I did last week?
Tell them. Biblical
in proportion. Listen, if what I did happened 2,000 years ago, it would be written about in the Bible. Because it was
if you were in Salem, you probably would have gotten burned.
I would have gotten burned. They would have said, this man is a witch. He obviously looked into the future. And a lot of people were saying, okay, would he have a good week? Would he go 5-2?
Yeah.
Would he win a couple units?
Yeah.
Let me just go back. Let me go to the notes real quick. Okay. Let me tell you what happened last week. Last week, I'm just walking down the street, walking by the orphanage, and little Timmy looks at me and says, Ben, if I don't make 4 units this week, the orphanage is going to close. You know what I did? I made 7.65 and I told him to put a fucking sauna in there. Hotter than anyone's ever been. 7.6 units last week.
Wow.
I am at 12.25 units. $100 better would be up over $1,200.
That's crazy. That's legitimately insane.
Let me just rattle them off. Western Kentucky, plus 6.5. That's a winner. Syracuse, -1. That's a winner. Over 56.5, Vandy. That's a winner. Under 63.5, BYU with Memphis, -6. They both covered. Maryland, -2.5. That was a 2-unit. I said that was my favorite pick of the entire week. That was a winner. Notre Dame, Pitt, Oklahoma, moneyline 2-unit parlay. That hit. You add that all up, minus the Air Force loss, which was okay. It's okay.
Woof.
There is beauty in imperfection, and that's why I did that.
Wow.
7.6 units last week. I'm sitting at 12.25. What an unbelievable run. And I've been telling you people, and now I'm going to start getting mad. Now I'm going to get angry because I've been asking you guys to, take the picks, bet them early, bet them for the line moves. What did I say last week? I said I'm firing from the hip. That's what I told you. I said
you did. That's what the F was for.
That's what the F was for. And I said, you know what? I had a bad week. I wasn't in the right frame of mind. And I said, I'm getting back in the lab and I'm doing what I need to do. Now I'm testing the proven methods. I'm starting to hit my gear. 7.6 units is unfucking believable. I mean, that is so hot. I feel like I should be selling my picks. I feel like I'm like an 80s tout.
You going tout?
I feel like I'm Stu Feiner. I feel like I should drop my Venmo at the beginning of the show every week because all I'm doing is I'm paying everyone's fucking rent every week. And you know what I do it for? I do it for the love of the game. I'm out at Rucker, okay, every week. And I mean, and let's just, before we go into it, Frankie, not a bad week.
It was a bad week.
He lost 4 units, which,
That's not good.
But what are you at?
I don't know.
7.25 units.
You took the lead.
$100 better would be up $700. Combined, we're over $1,900 combined. And this is a combined effort show. So whenever Frankie gives you a pick, you bet it. Whenever Yinzer gives you a pick, you bet it. You don't pick and choose. You don't have a favorite. This isn't a fucking boy band. You're not picking which one you want to take backstage. We're both going. We're throaty. Okay? When we give you these picks, you take them and bet them. It is a collaborative effort. He's at 7.25. I'm at 12.25. Anything above 0 units, you are profitable. We are taking the VIG out of these units. We are taking the -110 out of these units because we're giving you a lot of plus bets. I mean, I had plus 160 on that BYU parlay. We're not just giving you, I know we like to joke we're chalky, but we're rarely giving you picks that are bigger than -130.
That's a good point.
Rarely.
That's a good point.
But I just need another 30 seconds, and I swear I'll get off
it, man. Take it.
7.6 units in a weekend is ridiculous. Okay, and I'm going to give you some more picks this week. I went a little light on the card. The cream of the crop. It's rising up, and I got a few picks, a little different. I even scratched one off because you know what I said? That doesn't meet my standard. There's Huggy Bear right there. That's the only dog in this house that we always trust. But
he got that dog in him.
I got that dog in me. Okay, people are looking at me now. People are walking down the street. I got a little swagger now. Yep. People are like DJNYC pod. Now my girls look at me a little differently. Now I'm no longer the joke at the office. Maybe I'll sit in the boss's chair.
There it is.
7.6 units. If you're broke, that's your fault. That's it. And I'm done. If
Ooh.
you can't afford, if you go out to dinner and you have to look at the wine list and ask for a recommendation and not say, what's the best you have in the cellar, that's on you. So that's all I'm saying. And I don't want to come at you people because I'm trying to make you money. I don't ask for anything in return.
You
I
don't.
joke about dropping my Venmo. I don't. I'm financially secure. I'm good. Okay. Because I take my own bets. I'm done. Moving on. Moving on. Moving on. I've already told you.
You finished that.
I've said my piece, Christopher.
You finished that, and you sounded such like Jim Rome. You go,
Yeah. Okay. If you're broke, stay broke.
I'm giving you picks, trying to buy you a house in San Luis Obispo.
7.6 units. That could get you a beachfront like Malibu. You're going to live like Cliff Kingsbury.
Huh, talk about falling upwards. Huh, this building's falling off a cliff because California is eroding.
The only thing eroding faster is your bookie's bank account.
Huh, nice one. Nice one, Jim. Thanks,
Killed
Jim.
it. Fantastic dropping from the producer chair. That's why he gets paid big bucks. CBS Sports.
Jim Rome, the mothership.
The mothership. But you know what? That's it. I'm sorry I yelled at everybody, but I'm going to take it back. But at the same time, don't talk poverty to me. Don't speak broke to me. I don't have Duolingo for broke. I don't speak it. So 7.6 units, and that's it. That's the last time I'm going to say it. But I'm just saying I'm up at 12 units. Let's say you were $1,000 better. You have 12,000. Let's say you're $1 million better.
Wow.
What if Jeff Bezos took my picks? That's all I'm saying.
If Jeff Bezos took our picks, yeah. If
Okay.
Jeff Bezos took our picks, world hunger gone.
Listen, 2-day delivery would be 2-hour delivery. That's all I'm saying.
Yo,
so
you'd have an Amazon shop in your basement.
Bill Gates would be like, I'm sick of malaria. Let's cure diseases that haven't been invented yet. Like, that's what he'd be on. He'd be bored.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's get rid of all STDs. Let's make it like the 70s. You know what I mean? Let's just get it so it's just like it's free love. One love, no hate.
Listen, if I hit a few more units this week, we might get rid of it. But that's all I'm saying. I mean, listen, life's good. Money's good. Love is good.
It is.
Cooking's good. I look better. I sound better. I pick better. My food's better. My car's bigger. My dog's better. Damn, bro. I'm just saying. I'm feeling myself. I'm feeling good.
Go off, Yinzy.
Man, okay. I need to settle down. I need to center myself.
Because
listen. Okay. Call me some dungarees because I'm getting out of pocket.
Hey,
yo.
Tell them, bro.
All right. I'm done. I've said my piece.
You good? You good on the brag corner?
Yes.
All right. It's time for bitch time.
Okay.
A segment that I am very good at because it's just about my everyday life, bitching about something. Okay. I'm very good at that. It's probably a pastime, complaining, bitching, moaning. That's sort of my thing.
Yeah.
And I got to be honest with you, folks. I got kicked in the teeth last week. Lost 4 units. That's never good. All right. You guys know I can pick a game, and you guys know I put my heart out there on the line, and I do the research, and I'm looking at the numbers, and I believe in myself. Anytime, anytime I'm shooting the ball, I'm like, this is going in, this is going in, this is going on. I'm never questioning myself. I'm never like, well, what if I fade myself? Never that. All right. Did I also lose more money off pod? Yeah. Did I chase? Yeah. All right. These things happen. I was in a personal hurricane last week. Hurricane week 3?
4?
3?
3?
Was
it?
Yeah,
3. We had 0.
Hurricane week 3. Week 3. And guess what? We've rebuilt. The levee is fixed. The shanties are up. FEMA has come in and rescued us, and I'm ready to rebuild, and I'm ready to host a Super Bowl this week, such like New Orleans. And I'm ready to have a huge week. Wow. Capital Y, huge week.
Can I say one thing in your favor though? You lost a little bit. You lost a little bit last week, but you're still up 7 units. So listen, Mark Zuckerberg loses $70 billion every other week. He's still sitting on top of the food chain.
That's right. That's right.
We're not worried. I'm not worried.
I love my card this week. Again, it's going to be a lot of, I'm entering the chalk zone, but it's just because I know which teams are bad. I stay up while you sleep, and I go over and look at the film of the teams that are woeful and the reasons why they're woeful. And if they're coachable things like hitting your marks or setting the edge or something like that, then like, okay. But if like you're just like hands on hips, no effort, quit, like, dude, I'm going to exploit that. You know what I mean? Jimmy's and Joe's, not X's and O's.
Investors, possibly
Possibly
you.
you. That's good. So I think that's good for that the B&B segment, the Airbnb segment.
I definitely got that off my chest.
Yeah. Tonight's episode, I'm driving the ship. Yinzer, here's the deal. So tonight's episode's free flowing. Think of it sort of like I'm Mike D'Antoni, and we're just pacing space, whatever you want to do. So one thing I want to talk to you about, there's like three things in particular I really want to chat about, but you and I both grew up playing sports, athletic guys. I want to talk about sport dads.
Oh, okay.
I want to talk about sport dads, and I want to talk about some of the craziest things you've seen.
I've seen
in youth sports.
I mean, I coach middle and high school football, so I've seen it.
Wow. Okay. I actually didn't. I knew you coached high school. I didn't know you coached middle school. That's also interesting.
Yeah.
I coached a little bit. I also reffed a little bit of soccer.
Ref's the fucking worst.
Reffing is the worst. Just a quick blurb. I had people get mad at me because my whistle wasn't loud enough.
Listen, they don't pay you to be out there. They want performance. They want perfection every time.
It's moronic. I was like, these are 6-year-old girls playing soccer. I'm not going to call fouls on them. Like, they're just running around.
Was the flag up on that?
Offsides. I'm basically like a bona fide babysitter at that point.
Pretty much.
All right, so let's talk about sports dads. Off rip, I got a good story. There was a absolute psychopath dad in my hometown. He was not my dad, and he coached football. He coached baseball. I think maybe some wrestling. Wrestling's big where I'm from. Maybe a little bit of basketball too. I'm not sure, but definitely football and definitely baseball. And he was known as a guy who was going to like scream at kids for not, I don't know, hitting bombs at 7 years old. And he would like get in your face and do all this stuff. And I didn't want to yell at him because I just didn't respond well to that type of thing. All right. Yeah. I didn't want to play for him because I don't respond well to yelling. And so what my mom did, because I was a pretty good ball player, baseball, we were a very progressive league. And so my mom asked around the league if anybody would like an assistant coach, because word on the street was young Franco was going first round in the draft, maybe first overall in the youth baseball draft. And so because of that, my mom knew that this guy was going to pick me in the draft. And she didn't want that to happen. So my mom asked around the league, and one guy was like, yeah, you can be my assistant coach if that means, your son's automatically on my team.
Wait a minute. So your mom pulled like an Arch Manning?
Yeah, basically.
My son's not going to the Chargers.
Yeah, basically. Like my mom was like, my son will play for Premium One sprayed on bedliner if you let if you let me on the staff. And my mom knows sports. My mom's collegiate basketball player. Like she loves baseball. It's a sport. Like that's how we bond. But like that guy was insane. My mom also coached my basketball teams too. It was very cool to have a woman coach for youth boys sports. It was very cool. But I
guess
there was one time youth basketball. This is elementary school basketball. Okay. This dad is still in the picture. All right. His wife is the coach, not my mom. His wife is the head coach.
Yeah.
Banana land I'm living in. Okay. Yeah. His son, it's the final four of like the county basketball. I don't know how many schools we had, but we had a decent amount. His final four, and his son makes a basket in the wrong hoop and like starts jumping up and down like, yeah, we tied, we did it. And then he realized what he had done and cost us the game and starts like crying on the court. And the dad got so pissed off, the dad went into the bathroom and slammed his hands like on the sink. I think he broke the sink off the wall and like screamed his son's name into the ether. And the only reason I know that is because one of my buddies was in a stall and could like hear a man come in and just scream his son's name. And I feel bad for that son. I'm sure that son has got a lot of emotional and actual trauma from probably just getting beaten as a child. The son also just got picked up for prostitution recently. He was not selling. He was purchasing.
Oh, he wasn't selling ass?
Yeah, he wasn't selling. He was purchasing, and he got caught up. He got caught up with the game.
Wow.
So he's gone. But yeah, dude, that dad was insane. I mean, like I've had sports dads like flip off umpires and like get kicked out. Like, have you ever played in a tournament where the coach got so pissed off that we just decided to leave the tournament? He goes, "That's it, boys, pack up your stuff, we're out of here." Like we had to
I've
leave one.
seen it. So I
Yeah.
used to work for when I was in Morgantown. I used to work at a basketball academy, and we used to run AAU tournaments. And I have seen that happen. Where
Yeah.
I've seen, but the craziest thing is these teams would travel 4 hours away, and I saw a very similar scenario to that where the game was almost over, like maybe 3 minutes left. They were getting blown out, and he just like one foul, and he called it. And one of the dads came from the fucking stands, took the clipboard, and was like, "We drove 3 hours for this. We're playing this game out." And I was like, kind of respected that dude. Like that
Yeah,
was a
for
pretty,
real.
like that was a pretty manly move. That was a dad move. And he pretty much told him, he was like, "Do you know how much money we pay to play on this stupid thing?" He was like, "We're finishing the games." And I was like, "Hey, I paid like $400 to be here uh, to play in this stupid tournament." So, I mean, I've seen that. I've seen like the dudes that are crazy fucking yelling, and like they all look the same.
Oh
Like
yeah, dude.
it's always like jean shorts,
Yep.
like like
Why
he
is
has like
that a thing though? Why are they like, hey, you know what? I'm getting into Levi's and I'm gonna start yelling
it's
at some
jean
high school
shorts. It's like a t-shirt from like a vacation spot.
Fort
Like
Lauderdale.
Fort Lauderdale. Definitely you have like the sunglasses on.
They're
Listen,
wearing Costa sunglasses.
he's definitely like not able to run a 5K.
No,
And
he's not a redneck, but his neck is very red.
very red, very veiny,
Yeah,
vascular, not
yeah,
quite vascular, just a veiny man.
veiny
And
man.
he's and usually I'm sure he has respectful discourse with his wife at all times.
Yeah.
So
Oh yeah. I'm sure they. Yeah. After he visits his friend Johnny Walker, I'm sure they have some
yeah,
great conversations.
I'm sure the phrase "pull the car around's been said. Get them damn kids in the car. You pull that car around. I'm not walking my Suburban. Like, like,
the
but
phrase
here's the deal. Like,
the phrase "pull the car around" might have been said.
you better pull them damn car. You better pull that car around. You better get them damn kids in that car. I'm about to tee off.
Why are
But
your lips so pursed right now? Your lips are so tight.
because it's a redneck.
Are
You
you
better
packing
pull.
like a? Are you packing like a fake? Oh,
You better,
sure.
you better pull that damn Suburban around. I swear to God, I'm about to go tear into this 16-year-old. That's horse shit. I've had enough of these daggum calls. Anybody that says daggum that's not a football coach is not someone you need to fuck around with. Like that's nobody. Like daggum's like a good football coach. Like I definitely use that when you don't want to cuss at the kids. And you're like, I've run this play 30 daggum times. That's a good like Dabo Sweeney word. But nah, dude, it's the same. And I've dealt with that. Like I said, I coach football. I had the same dudes.
I want to
And
know
it's
what
like,
happened on the football field, bro. Anybody come up ask for playing time?
oh, all the time.
Like a dad?
All the time. Do you know what I would do? Do you know what I would do? And it
What?
worked every single time. I would invite the parent to practice to watch their son practice and be like, do you see how dog shit he is? Do you see how he doesn't give me any effort? And that's why. Like, it never failed. There was never, first of all, whenever you're playing like middle school and lower high school, it's all about will over skill, like who actually wants to play and who actually knows the plays and that shit. Like, that will get you on the field. But every single time I would bring, like, a parent would come down and be like, why is my son not playing? And I'd be like, ask him what this play is. Ask him, or I'd say, come to practice. My practices were always open. I'd be like, come to practice, watch your son pick
We never shut it off to the media.
No, the media, listen.
West Virginia high school football practice, they were open to the public.
Dude, WVSSAC legend. Okay, I never lost a game, not a big deal. But
What?
Swear to God.
What do you mean you never lost a game?
I coached 2 years of middle school. I think I was like 18-0.
What? Where at what city?
Morgantown. I coached at
Sunnyside?
At Mountaineer Middle.
What type of plays were you running to win 18 straight?
We had athletes and the play. Listen, here's the deal when you're coaching middle school football.
Okay.
Get the ball in your fastest player's hands as many times as you want to do it. So that means we're not throwing the ball that often. We're doing a lot of jet sweeps. We're doing a lot of pop passes. We're doing a lot of motion. If I can get this kid in motion with the ball in his hand, dude, Huggins is obsessed today. If I can get this ball in motion, I'm getting him the ball. So I had one kid played at Marshall. He still plays at Marshall. Amir Richardson plays at Marshall.
What?
Yeah, he was good as hell. So, I would run like What we would do is, to be honest, and this is like super, nobody wants to hear this, but we would
It's
spread
not
it out.
stupid. I just asked.
No, we would spread it out and we would run out of it. So you think like kids at that age see a spread offense and they go super wide. And so you're going to give me like 4 kids in the box and we're just going to run it every single time. And I would have a quarterback that could make like enough 7-yard throws or enough like deep throws if somebody like was left wide open. And it's not hard. You just do motion and it confuses the shit out of kids because fucking 13-year-old kids are just thinking with their dicks. Like they just see they see like somebody in motion and the whole line fucking shifts. Like, it's like literally I'd have like the backer, the safety, and their fucking 5 tech like all go with a receiver, and I would just run a counter the other way. But no, we never lost the game. Honestly, I think the only game was close was like we played, I forget, somebody from like Parkersburg or somebody, a middle school.
Let's go.
That was close.
From middle school in Parkersburg? We're traveling like that?
Yeah, dude, we traveled. We went to like.
Did you play Blennerhassett?
No. Shout out Clay Battelle. We smoked them. But no. I mean, we would just do it. But like literally, the offense was like we would learn like 12 to 15 plays, and we would run variations off them. So if we would run this play, I would either be the running back, or it'd be the fullback, or it'd be a sweep. And I definitely stole the Dana Holgerson pop pass, dude. Electric. You get the kid in motion. By the time he catches the ball, he's already at full speed, and there's nobody on the field that can catch him. So, what's his name? Yeah, but we had some studs. Hold on, I gotta get him out of here. He's going fucking insane.
I don't know. It's fine. The thing is, that's really interesting, Ben, because I've always thought it'd be interesting to be a coach. Yeah. Baseball is like my primary. I'd probably be a pretty decent baseball coach, and no need to brag. But that's just the thing I have the most experience in, professionally documented professional experience in that. But I would think it would be quite fun. And me and my one buddy Rob have like this theory that like, because every other high school in the world runs the wing tee, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Or some variation of it. Maybe they're in pistol, maybe they're under center, what have you. They're running the wing tee because they don't have the linemen to do things that they want to do.
Or they don't have the quarterback. Yeah.
The air raid is rather simple.
Yeah, but I'm going to tell you the problem with it in a second.
Hold on.
Okay.
Me and my buddy Rob have thought about like going to like coach like really small high school football in North Carolina and just like running it up on teams and just like getting to the point where it's like 60-0 at the end of the game and we're just screaming at our players, locker room, go, locker room. Like fans are like throwing things at us. What?
There's think about how many good professional quarterbacks there are.
Okay.
Think about how many good college quarterbacks there are.
Even less.
Think about how many good high school quarterbacks there are.
Probably less.
Yeah. So if you're running any sort of pass happy offense, the reason you're only going to see that is in Texas, California, and Florida is because they can get those guys.
Okay.
First of all, when you're running an area, this is going to be super. If you don't like football, just key off for like 45. If you don't like super technical, just key off for 45 seconds. When you're running an air raid, the routes have to be precise, the timing has to be precise, the quarterback has to be precise, and everything has to be quick. So if you have a quarterback that is not accurate, you can't run an air raid. If you have a wide receiver that can't run good routes, you can't run an air raid because all you're going to do is throw picks. That's all you're going to do because everybody's so spread out. So if you were to spread me out, like if I was playing a team that was an air raid team, pause. If you're going to spread me out, pause. All I would do, and that's really what everybody does against in the NFL, you rush 3, you drop 8, and you make the quarterback make a good throw. Now, if this kid, for some reason, can't throw outside the numbers, which most high school quarterbacks can't, you just leave everybody in the middle. You may play man with your corners, and you're going to have one of your safeties up, one of your safeties in the box to catch the crosses and catch underneath. And that's literally all you're going to do. And you're just going to make him make outside throws. And if you have a quarterback that can make outside throws, cool. Now, the whole thing with the air raid where you're going up tempo, yeah, that's great. But
oh, yeah, we run tempo.
You're going to run tempo, but here's the deal. If I'm on defense, I can match your sub. So unless you have high school kids and wide receivers that are so good in shape, you're not going to have middle schoolers that are going to do it. They're going to be gassed. So there you go. That's fun. Sorry. I mean, I'm just telling you, that's what I would do. That's what I would do.
Okay.
You want to spread me out? Go ahead. Make a 15-yard out every time. And if you do that, you beat me. Cool. And I'm just going to run jet sweeps, and I'm going to run counters, and I'm going to run powers, and I'm just going to wear you out.
But here's the deal, Ben. The air raid, the true air raid, is getting up to the line and seeing how many people we have in the box. Oh, okay. Well, then let's run inside zone.
That is true, but I am always going to have 8 guys on the line. And I'm just going to have 8 guys. And if you can – and here's the thing, too. If you have a quarterback that's good enough to run the air raid, you could run a 1940s Oklahoma offense and beat the shit out of a team because at a certain point, if you have a quarterback that can make throws, it's a cheat code at
That's a
any
good
level.
point. Yeah, we're just running 1940. Let's go 70s and let's just run
Dude
ankle
throwing the
routes.
ball like this. Yeah.
Yeah, let's go.
You want
Yinzer doing the Johnny Unitas like elbow behind the head, like
Do you want to know what the most effective offense would be to run at like a high school level, though?
fullback running angle routes like Texas in
Yeah,
the 80s.
Texas routes, but like the Bill Walsh offense, quick passes. I mean, that's what it is.
Oh, West Coast.
West Coast. I mean, because you don't have a lot of quarterbacks that can throw the ball, but if you can have a quarterback that can hit quick hitters and you have fast receivers and fast running backs, that way you don't have to have big linemen. You can do your zone blocking. You can kind of just get it out quick. But I mean, at the end of the day, too, with the big thing we're ignoring, because God, this is going way too long about middle school football and high school football. A mobile quarterback changes everything.
Yeah, run some zone read. Wow.
It's if you have like literally like Terrell Pryor when he was at Jeanette in Pittsburgh, he would snap the ball and you would pray he would throw it because if he's keeping it, he's bigger, faster, stronger than everybody on the field. I mean, we went and watched his like Whitfield
Student body
championship
left
game.
or student body right. Those are your plays.
Dude, he would literally break like 6 tackles every play. I mean, I think the team he beat, it was like in the championship, beat him like 63-10.
That's insane.
It was running
my high school's playing very well right now. The Parkersburg South Patriots.
Parkersburg South.
They just beat the Archtown rivals, Parkersburg Big Reds, the Native American team. For some reason, they have that mascot. It makes no sense to me. And they have some doughy white kid dress up in full Native American attire and get out on the field and be like, "Oh yeah," and like nail like a spear into the turf. That somehow makes sense.
That's West Virginia, baby.
It's stupid. But yeah, they dominated, like killed them. So they're doing like a lot of RPO stuff, which is really cool. We got a couple talented kids, it looks like. But moving on to the next thing I want to talk about, we're talking a lot about sports, and we did talk about sports dads, but
yeah.
I think maybe there's reference this earlier, but I gotta ask, bro.
Yeah.
Sure. Your all-time sports movie.
Oh. God. All-time, like the movie that I like the best or the movie that I think is the best?
I mean, we have time.
Okay. I mean, all-time sports movie. Like, it's very flawed. The last 15 minutes are terrible.
Oh, boy.
Any Given Sunday is so fucking good.
Dude, I love Any Given Sunday because it's the most realistic look into life in the NFL, folks.
Dude, Willie Beeman is so good. The whole movie is so good. Dude, I need a Willie Beeman jersey so bad. Like, I mean, Jamie Foxx is so good. It's so good. You have all like the shiftiness, but like, I mean, the problem with sports movies is a lot of times, obviously they're formulaic, they're super predictable. So like, you know, what's going to happen. You know that, it's going to follow a certain path where,
I mean, if it's based on a true story, you know the outcome, yes.
You know the outcome. So, I mean, like, Miracle's great. Like, Miracle's a great movie. Yeah. If you don't like Miracle, it's un-American. It's a great
Glory
movie.
Road, great.
Glory Road. Huh.
We Are Marshall, great.
Okay. West Virginia. This is a West Virginia pod. This is a WVU pod. But it's, I mean...
we're gonna get into something later, and I don't think it is.
We'll see. Any Given Sunday is good because it's a great, like you said, super realistic. I love Any Given Sunday. I'm trying to think if there's any other sports movie that I really. If I'm going like, okay, I'm gonna go. How about if I go the most rewatchable sports?
Yeah, the rewatchables.
Do you know what it is?
Your most rewatchable one?
I think everybody's. Find me a sports fan that doesn't like this movie.
I know what it is. Can I guess?
The Replacements.
I was gonna say Friday Night Lights.
No, the show's better than the movie. That's just me. No big deal.
Okay. You know what my most favorite and the best one is? The best movie cinematically speaking, sport wise, and also my favorite. It's the same one.
Okay, I was gonna guess, but I don't. I want another one after you go.
Moneyball.
But I want you to go.
Moneyball.
Oh, Moneyball's good.
It's the best cinematic. It's the best cinematic sports movie, and also the acting in it is incredible. And you get wrapped up in it. And like, I've seen the movie a billion times. I worked for the guy that created the strategy the movie is about. I love this movie top to bottom. And every time I rewatch it, I'm like, they got a shot. Like, there's no way they lose. Like,
let me ask you this.
What?
Is Moneyball a sports movie? Or is it a analytics movie? Or is it a data driven movie? Because it's
a sport movie. It's about baseball.
Is it?
Yes, dude.
Is it about this? Is it about a guy?
Efficient? I mean, it's just
Is
I
it
don't
more of
know.
a science movie? Is it more of like I don't know. Like
Well, I
listen,
think
I
that's
like
why I
Money.
like it so much is because it combines my favorite thing, data and
Okay.
sport.
Okay. Listen, it's Moneyball's a good movie. I'm not
Yeah,
saying that.
it's great.
I went the more traditional sports movie, and we're leaving out one that is fucking fantastic. That is the actually I said the replacements is the most rewatchable. I want to rescind that. It's good. It's in the top 2 or 3.
Field of
There is
Dreams.
one movie that I have probably seen 100 times, and it
Okay.
never isn't good. Major League.
Oh,
I
I
mean,
love Major League.
Major. Let me ask you: if Major League's on TBS, you're staying.
Yeah, I'm on
You're
it.
staying
I'm
on.
watching it. I'm watching it.
Okay.
That's one of those. That's one of those like Sunday afternoon. I'm on the couch. Oh, Major League's on.
Yeah, I'm not turning it off. Like,
Yeah.
okay, Bob Uecker, unbelievable.
And the fact that it's fictional and
Yeah,
so they actually like win is great.
yeah. Listen, we love Major League.
And that's hasn't been a thing since draft day with
The
uh
worst movie I've ever seen.
which is not good. And I let me say, I love Kevin Costner and I love uh the woman from West Virginia, Jennifer
Jennifer
Garner.
Gardner. Proud
I
of West
those
Virginia.
those are arguably my favorite people in Hollywood.
Yeah,
And I love analytics. I love front office stuff. That movie, the trades he's making at the end,
it's the most anti-analytic movie of all time. They
those
went off the rails. If you would have given me 5 minutes with that script, I'd have been like, "That's not what's going to happen."
no,
Like, he should have done like a smoke screen, and he should have made the dude trade up a bunch of picks. That's what it should have been, instead of him doing trades that make no fucking
and
sense.
then somehow he gets them all back.
He gets them all back, and you could tell every single person because the first hour 30 of that movie is pretty damn good. Also, you got the damn Black Panther as your number one
Oh
pick.
yeah, you do. You do.
So, shout
You're
out
automatically Vontae Mack.
Vontae Mack no matter what.
Take Vontae Mack no matter
Okay.
what.
And you know what? It's the first hour 30 of that movie is not bad. It's a fine movie. The last 15 minutes, and now I imagine that's how like whenever doctors watch like a medical show is like how pissed off they get. They're like, that's not how that fucking works. Or like how you're a pilot
Well,
and you watch like
yeah,
flight.
I mean, I watched Crashing, the show about the comedian like coming up in New York. It's not
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
It's not like that.
And they've yet to make any movies about degenerate gamblers from Pittsburgh. So I don't know. Maybe I'll weigh in on that.
Did you watch the Degenerate Gambler movie with McConaughey and Pacino?
Two for the Money.
Two for the Money.
Good movie. Do you know who that's based off?
Stu Feiner.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That movie was funded by gamblers.
That is a okay. Two for the Money. Another
Gambling
movie.
again.
Yeah, you're gambling. A great ass. But
We're just doing Petrino for the rest of the episode.
Is that what
you want to hear? I'm gambling again.
I'm sorry if the leftovers got cold. Dude, we talk about. We'll talk about.
Feed the horse over here. What's that guy's name? John something.
Who's that?
I literally have a sticker of that McConaughey character on my laptop. I can't see it.
It's his name is Lang. Brandon Lang
Brandon Lang.
is who he's. Brandon Lang famous.
How about this? Brandon Lang.
He was famous for the longest time for being like, I think he went something incredible like 14-0 Super Bowls or something crazy. I don't know if that's it, but the reason he got famous is he picked Super Bowls. Like he would charge like thousands of dollars for a Super Bowl pick, but he had the side right like every year for a shockingly amount of time.
Who is it? Stu?
No, Brandon Lang.
Oh.
Like Brandon Lang, like around the Super Bowl, will still charge a lot of money for picks.
Oh, this is a real guy.
Huh?
This is a real guy.
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah. Brandon Lang was like a Super Bowl. I don't have all the details right, but
That's
he was
crazy that he only knows one game though.
No, he picked, but he was like, he got famous. Like the reason the movie, obviously, the reason he got famous is because he had like an unbelievable run in Super Bowls where he was picking like sides and was like right every year. And it was just like literally like gamblers were losing like remember how in the movie like people are losing like thousands and they win like at the end? Like he would lose, like he'd be okay, and then gamblers would literally bet his Super Bowl pick and win all their money back. So it was like always the last game of the year.
Yo, that's sick.
That's what he became pretty famous for. But if you ever watch, like my dad used to watch all these shows, they would have like Feiner and Wayne Allen.
I didn't. Gambling wasn't a thing in my house.
They used to be like infomercials, and these guys would do like 45-minute infomercials, and in the last 2 minutes they would give you a pick. So like the whole time they'd be like, buy my service, buy my service, buy my service. And they'd be like, well, we'll give you a little taste. And they would like, the show is called Mo Money. I swear to God. Like the show is called Mo Money. And if you want to talk about, if you want to go deep down the gambling rabbit hole, it was like Wayne Allen Root, Dave Koken. It was like Stu Feiner, and these guys were serious. Like, you know, on Barstool where they do like the Barstool Sports
I
Advisors
love
and they
watching
dress
that
like
on
that.
Sunday morning. It's
Okay,
so funny.
that's based on those shows.
Right,
Like,
right.
it would be like Anchorman, how they used to like do like the 70s newscast. So that's based off a real thing. And these guys would give picks, and my dad would watch. It was like an infomercial, but at the end they would give you a free pick. And like my dad would be there with like a fucking notebook, like scrambling down. And I'll never forget, they would call it was called the Mo Money Pick of the Week. I swear to God, you can find it on YouTube. If you were ever checking my street cred for being a degenerate gambler, when I was 7 years old, I would watch this shit. And like I'd be like, Dad, Texas text the pick. And like I swear to God. So that is how this shit started. So you would watch it. They would all be out of Las Vegas. They'd be shitty infomercials. They would all be wearing terrible suits.
Oh,
and
yeah.
that's what Barstool does. So like there's people watching this that like think it's like
Original.
the way Big
No,
Cat,
it's not original.
like they're paying homage to that shit, which is kind of funny. Like Big Cat dresses like that, and you have like Portnoy with the glasses. Like that's what they would wear. And it's like a send up of that shit. But that is what they used to do. But yeah, that's where like Brandon Lang came from. The guy who not Artie Lang, the guy who Ari Gold plays, Jeremy Piven, I forget his name, but he's based off a famous handicapper too.
Yeah.
So
he gets pissed at John or whatever
Brandon Lang, whatever Johnny, whatever the fuck his name is. But Two for the Money, not a bad movie.
It's not bad.
Like,
I haven't seen it in a while, but it's not bad.
It's not based like the whole thing where like he stops picking and like goes golfing like 30 hours and then writes his picks down. That's not true.
Yeah.
Like that's bullshit. But it's like, but also another thing, if you really want to get in the weeds, the thing they used to do is so they would send mailers out and they would put West Virginia on one and they would put Virginia Tech on another and they would send it to different houses. And then the next week they would send a separate mailer that would say, hey, if you had the losing side, they would give you a free pick. If you had the winning side, they would send you and say, we told you, and they would charge you for the next pick. That is a real thing. And they would keep track of these mailers. So they would, if they sent a house like 3 in a row, they would do it, but they would always send 2 picks out. So if you want to get really weird into like gambling, fraud, tout accounts, that's what they would do.
Bro, that's incredible. I had no idea. That is insane to me.
Yeah, because there's old, like if you look it on Google, you'll have like so-and-so's week 2 pick and it has both games. They picked both sides. So that's what they would do. They would send these mailers out and they would track it. And like, let's say you sent like 4 winners in a row to the same house.
Yeah.
That person would buy your service where it's a numbers game. So if you send out 100 mailers and 10 guys buy your service,
that's all
you're
sales
charging,
is numbers.
Yeah. And you're charging $100 a pick. Okay. A mailer costs 17 cents and a guy buys your pick and pays you $100. You just need 1. So it's frauds have been the same, scams have been the same throughout history. So it's not like, imagine if me and Frankie did our pod and then we did a separate pod and we released different picks. And then like Sunday morning, we decided which pod to release. Like that's pretty much what it is.
No.
Or we restart.
We don't go tout.
No.
And you know what? That's actually crazy is we're like absolutely kicking all these guys in the teeth. Like we're like we're having a significantly better year than most people, which obviously there's luck involved, but like we do know what we're doing to an extent.
Go look at all the guys on ESPN. Look at the guys where they're like, look at like Stanford, Stephen Bear. They're like,
I love.
They're like 7-13-1.
I love these guys.
And
I listen to them every week multiple times. I love Stanford Steve.
And I will say this, they do ask them to pick big games. We are not asked to pick games. We are asked to pick the games we like. So they're always asked to pick.
That is true.
Games.
They are forced to pick the games that are probably on ESPN also.
Yeah. And here's one thing to branch off that. I hate whenever people text me for picks and they're like, who do you like in the Monday night game? That's not how this works.
That's not how this works. I go nothing.
Would you ever ask your financial advisor to be like, which internet stock do you like? Not which stock do you like or which food stock do you like? No, you pick what you know or you pick what you like. There's 50 games a weekend and we're picking 5. Mm-hmm. Just because the CBS game is featured and you want to watch it, okay, then put $20 on it. Yeah. That's fine. Yeah. Flip a fucking coin. But that's what I hate. I get that all the time. And then it loses because they're like, well, I just want to pick. And then they're like, oh, they talk shit. I'm like, I gave you the amount of people I had in DMs. I probably had 30 people in my DMs. 30's an exaggeration. Let's say 10 asking me for NFL picks after I went 6-1. And I'm like, well, I don't pick the NFL. I'll give you some picks. I went okay. I did okay on Sunday.
Yeah.
But
don't ask me for NFL picks. I'm taking every dog and every under from now until the end of the season.
But I mean, that's kind of the tangent we went off on. But it's like, that's another thing where I just can't stand that. I'm like, you would never ask anybody if somebody's specialty is this, if somebody's specialty is making pizza, you wouldn't ask them to make you a fucking sushi roll. Like,
no,
stick to what I know. But
Absolutely.
that's pretty much it.
I love that.
Love
I
it.
love that, man. That was great. Let's see. 40 minutes in, we can get into the picks.
You want to get into some picks?
Let's get into the picks.
So real quick, I'm just going to do not a quick recap, but I'm just going to say where we're at. Frankie, once again, 7.25 units. Me at 12.25. That is incredible. We're both up plus money.
Man. Congrats, man. Great start.
Congrats, bro. You're up 7.25 units.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? Look in the mirror.
I know. You know what's crazy is I look at my action account and it's not 7.25 units up.
If we only...
It's like I killed an NFL week 1.
Yeah, we both did. So no shame in that. But I have a lighter card this week. I know you're a little heavier, so I'm going to let you... Actually, I'm going to take the first pick. I'm going to take the honor.
No, yeah, you're on the for the first time this season, folks. Yinzer has the T.
I think I have the T. I think I might have started. Did I have it week 1? I don't know. I might have had it week. I don't know,
because I had a good week 0 because I had Northwestern.
Okay, let's go. Then I'm going to start us off.
I think.
Here's what I'm going to do, and I'm going to go back. Listen, we talk about not chasing ex-girlfriends. We talk about if you're getting rejected, not to chase.
Yep.
But you know what? I look at the Fly Boys, and you know what I say? I can't quit you. And I'm going back to Air Force. And I lost on a first half bet last week. And guess what?
Same.
I touched the stove and it burned me. And now I'm putting my full fucking palm on it. Air Force minus 13 first half bet. We're back at home. If I know anything about my military guys, listen, they got embarrassed.
Yep.
Here in the USA, we may lose a battle, but we're not losing the fucking war. We're not losing this preseason total. So Air Force is going to come out. They're going to be pissed. Listen.
We've lost some wars.
They were conflicts. Okay. It's all about how you frame it. So give me Air Force minus 13 first half. Air Force is going to come out pissed off. I think Air Force is just going to run them out of the building.
Who are they playing?
But Air Force is here, let me get to this point real quick. On Air Force. And I watched the game because everyone in the group chat,
we watched it.
Everybody in the group chat, there's a few people in our group chat that took Wyoming and haven't been hearing the end of it. So
they put $10 on them.
Laramie. So Air Force is coming out. They're playing Nevada. Sorry, I know you asked that. They're playing Nevada.
The Wolfpack. 2 words.
Wolfpack is back. They're not back. No. But Air Force, it's minus 24 for the full game. I looked at the team total. I liked it, but I'm taking the first half. I think Air Force, bad week of practice. I can't imagine it was very good for those guys. Give me the first half. They're going to come out pissed off. I like Air Force. That is a 1-unit play, minus 13.
1 unit.
First half.
I like that. I'm starting out with a 2-unit play.
Okay, hold on. Okay, give it to me.
All I'm going to say is CCU later. Coastal Carolina, the Chanticleers, the Fancy Chickens, on the road at Turner Field, coming out of there angry like John Rocker when he's coming off the mound. They're gonna
John Rocker getting off the subway.
That's right. That guy
does not like quotes. They're fun.
That guy does not like the 7 line, and he is a scumbag. But so Coastal Carolina, they're an interesting team right now. It's like they out-armied Army, and then they I forget who else they played, but it's like for them, they're doing like all this matchup stuff, and like they're hanging onto the ball along. Like I really love McCall, the quarterback, but what are you doing, Yinzer?
Letting my dog in. He's barking at me.
Oh,
sorry. I was listening to you. I heard you say about Coastal, and which is funny because you were on Georgia Southern,
and this is a revenge.
This is a revenge, which is what you're about. That's where I thought you were going because you've often talked about how you don't care if you win; you just want your enemies to fall.
Yeah,
so I feel like
it's spite. It's a spite.
This is a spite pick.
It's a spite pick.
I'm going to tell you, I almost pulled the trigger on Coastal. I think Coastal is going to. I think the offense is going to wear them out.
How are you as a man, as Georgia State, as a group of men? How are you going to give up 40-some points to Charlotte at home? I sat there and I watched that game and I sweated out because Georgia State was the last leg in a 5-team parlay I had of straight up money lines. App State also went there, so I really shouldn't have been in the game. Wake Forest also went there, so I really shouldn't have been in the game. But I was there at the end of the night, and you couldn't stop Will Healy once.
And that's not the usual Charlotte team. That's what I mean. I think Coastal. This line feels trappy. But
oh yeah, it's so trappy. But I'm taking it. I'm taking the bait. I don't care. This is a spite pick.
Yeah, that's you. That's definitely a spite pick. That's what I thought you were going. I thought you were going Coastal for the sole reason of they just cost you money last week. Whereas you are saying, how dare you hurt me? I'm going to get a revenge. Or Air Force let me down, and I said, I'm going to give you one more chance.
Yeah, I'm going to hook up with your best friend, Georgia State. I'm going
I'm going to invite you in and say, let's talk about this.
All right.
Let's go to therapy.
You got what else you got? What's pick number 2?
All right, pick number 2 for me. I got another 1 unit play, and I've been really killing these alt line parlays. I'm going to tell you, this one makes me a little nervous, but USC -1.
I like that.
Kansas -2. This is plus 120, and that is a 1 unit play. Kansas is beating Duke. Kansas is good.
Duke hasn't played anybody. Kansas actually is good, and they're at home.
And USC -1. Listen, some things can happen in this game against Oregon State.
And Corvallis.
Weird things happen in the Pac-12 after dusk, but I think USC is for real. I think this is definitely a game. If USC loses this game, I will not be shocked. I've had a few games where I could not believe Air Force losing was shocking to me. I couldn't believe that last week. But USC -1, Kansas -2 at plus 120. That's good odds. Give me that for 1 unit.
Yep.
We've been really hot on these alt spreads. I think I'm 3-0 on them this year.
Dude, so I need to tail that, bro.
Yeah, I think that's going to be good. I like Kansas -7. I'll probably play that off pod. Didn't love it enough, but I love getting that below the.
Yeah, I have Kansas in a moneyline parlay off pod.
But yeah, let me know what you got for number 2. But there's really not a lot of analysis on there except for Kansas is fucking good, and USC offense looks incredible.
Can I ask this as a Mountaineer?
Yeah.
What was the biggest victory for West Virginia football last week? Was it finally getting a win, or was it seeing that Kansas is actually good?
There was 0 victories for West Virginia on field last week. Towson's terrible. Like that. The fact that
you're staring 0-2 in the face. You need to get a win eventually.
I don't care. Literally, they should have if Towson would have forfeited, it would have been the same result because nothing. Kansas actually being good was way better. 100%.
Okay, thank you. You finally answered the question in a circuitous way.
I'm a politician.
Pick number 2. I'm going out to Boulder.
Okay.
And I'm taking UCLA -21 against the worst Power 5 team in football.
Can we talk about how we were on this in week 0 with Colorado?
Yes.
Yeah. How many units? 1? So you have UCLA -21.
-21. And it's not so much that UCLA is like fantastic. I mean, they got taken to the ropes against South Alabama last week. But I think it's just more so like, again, I think that's the majority of my picks. And we listened to this for 3 weeks. It's just me not believing in Colorado at all. And Colorado being okay with being horrible this year. There's no like drive from the athletic department to be like, we have to be good now.
And to be honest, I think I was saying this before. I don't know if it's going to make it in. I think it made it before we switched. UCLA on the road is literally no problem. They're playing at home in front of 1,000 fans. They're probably
it doesn't matter. Like, you think the raucous environment in Boulder is going to get them? Okay.
No, Ralphie's not scaring anybody. But UCLA -21, Colorado is just bad.
Yeah, that's really that.
I'm going to go. I know you have this next pick. I know you have a West Virginia pick, so I'm going to keep mine.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go to a 2-unit play, which I think we might have a disagreement on. But this is almost a 2.5 unit play. This is probably going to be a bigger play as it gets closer. Clemson -7 against Wake Forest. Frankie loves Wake. Listen, we love Wake's offense. We love what they're doing down there.
Love the Deeks.
We love the Deeks. We love what the Deeks are doing down in Winston-Salem. But I'm going to tell you why Clemson. Okay, this is where you come back to earth. The lines are just too tough. It's the trenches are where the game's won. DJ Uiagalelei has been better this year.
He's been shaky, bro.
He is not. He is not. Look at his stats. He has not. Everybody says that. He has been a lot better this year. He's protecting the ball. I think his completion percentage is around 65%.
That's good.
He's not going to win you this game, but he's not going to lose you this game any longer. I think Clemson wears them down. I think Wake has enough offense to, if they can somehow block Clemson, it could be a game. I don't think they're going to be able to block Clemson, and we've seen what disruptive D-lines do. Give me Clemson -7, 2-unit play. Dabo's not losing this game to Wake Forest, and as long as DJ doesn't implode, I think it's going to be a big win. I'm thinking, can I give you a number on this game?
Give me.
42-17. I think it's going to be a big win.
Blowout.
I think it's a blowout.
No
and I could be eating my words after being super cocky.
I don't think it's going to be as bad. I do think Wake is good enough to score.
Mm-hmm. I don't know why I like Clemson so much. But that's my biggest single play of the week.
This game is big for me in my team total conference wins for Wake at 4.5.
But give me Clemson -7. and that's a 2-unit play for me. So I have that at 2, and then God, give me your next pick.
I have 2 1-unit plays. Bang
Give them
bang.
to me.
I have Cincinnati minus 16 against the worst 3-0 team in football, Indiana, and I have ECU minus 17 against Navy. And we know how much I have been against Navy football with the pace that ECU plays with, and I mean, they've shown that they can keep up on defense. So just as long as they play really good assignment defense and pick up the triple option, then we should be fine. I mean, the amount of times that defensive line stuffed North NC State at the goal line. Like, I think they had 3 goal line stands of not just like, hey, we're down here, let's run 2 plays. Like, literally 4 downs at the 1, you're not going anywhere. So that really impressed me from ECU, who's normally just like off Holt nailers, throw it somewhere maybe.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been really impressed with ECU this year. Their kicker blew it, unfortunately.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, ECU minus 17. That's one of my favorite plays, even though it's a 1-unit. And Cincinnati is just on sheer principle of that. And Cincinnati has looked a little bit, obviously, a down year. They lost a lot of people. Desmond Ritter's not walking through that door. Their quarterback now is not him at all. They are throwing the ball a little bit more, which I think is less of he's better arm talent. I think it's more of he can't run. It's really, again, going with all of my picks, I think the opponent just stinks. And Indiana is a fraudulent 3-0.
Let me ask you, for the UCLA, was that 1 or 2 units?
That's 1 unit.
Okay.
I only have 2-unit plays this week. I have 2 more picks. Actually, no. Yeah. No, I have
3 more.
No, I have 2 more picks.
Okay. I'm going to go to I'm actually going to save a 1-unit play for last, because I think I want to hear your reaction on it.
Yeah.
All right. 2-unit play. Florida plus 10.5 against Tennessee. And this is a purely principal play of, we've seen Florida did not look good last week.
No.
Florida has Rich has not looked good, but you're giving me 10.5 against Tennessee. Tennessee is known for choking. Ooh. Florida still has athletes all over the field.
Athletes.
And you're giving me 10.5 points. I'm going to, just on principle, I'm taking a 10.5 point dog, especially when it has as much pedigree as Florida. This is one of those where I love, if you were to line the teams up, I'm taking a lot of guys on Tennessee before I'm reaching into Florida.
Right. Especially that offense, bro. Those receivers, they have like 3 NFL receivers.
Hendon Hooker's a stud.
Yeah, he is.
There's things that happen in college, and at a certain point, you're going to lose more money giving 10.5 points to a good SEC team than you are winning. I think this is an overreaction to last week. I think this line should have been 4, maybe 6. 10.5, you're almost getting me a full touchdown. I'm going to take Florida 2 units on principle. Give me that 10.5. That is a pure value EV play, in my opinion. Even if I'm not really loving the side, even if I don't love what I'm seeing, that's too many. That's too many points. It's just too many. Too many points. Give me Florida 10.5, 2-unit play.
I got a 2-unit play. USC minus 6.5. Well, you don't have to talk about it. We talked about it already. They're just really just thinking that that offense is just so powerful, man.
It is. It's so incredible, and that is once.
And Lincoln Riley's a genius, man. Yeah. Please go to the NFL. Please go.
So you have one more play left?
Yeah, it's the same one, but inverse. Go ahead.
Okay. Sure. I want you to go first.
I'll explain it from my side.
Okay.
And this is Homer talk.
Mm-hmm.
West Virginia is 2 plays away from being 3-0. However, you didn't make those plays, whether it be decision, act of God, or want to.
Yeah.
And for that reason, you are 1-2.
Yep.
Basically 0-2. You played an FCS team.
Yeah.
I've watched Virginia Tech football also. And I watched the Old Dominion game, and I saw things. And I watched the Wofford game, and I saw things. And I think getting into a dogfight with Wofford is a lot more telling than losing an overtime game to Kansas, who is actually good, or going on the road to the biggest sporting event in Pitt football history and taking Pitt football to the wire ranked on the road. I think 2 losses are better than Wake Forest's 2 wins, or Virginia Tech's 2 wins.
Mm-hmm.
And so for that reason, I have West Virginia money line 2 units, 120, minus 120.
Money line
minus 120. Yeah. Okay. I have some off pod picks. If you want those, send me a text. I give it to you. some team totals out there that look tasty.
All right. So I heard what Frankie said, and I told him off. We were talking off pod. I told him,
Yeah.
and I'm gonna get Stephen A. Smith super quiet.
Go ahead, Steven. Go ahead.
West Virginia is a fraud.
Wow.
But here's what I'm gonna say.
Okay.
I'm not taking Virginia Tech.
What?
I'm not taking Virginia Tech.
You told me you were.
I looked at it and I said, what am I gonna do? But I'm also not taking West Virginia to win.
I'm so lost.
West Virginia team total over 25.5.
I have that too.
This team scores 46 points a fucking game on average. So I don't
have
know
that
what
off
they
pod.
do.
Add that.
You want it?
I have 2 units on West Virginia over 26.5.
Do you want? You gave it on. You can get it 25.5 on Barstool right now. Still,
I don't have Barstool. I don't have Barstool.
That hurts. Here's the deal. I don't like West Virginia's defense. I don't like their coaching. I don't like their motivation. I don't like a lot of things about them. There are 2 things I like about. There's 3 things I like about this team. I like Donaldson. Yep. I like Bryce Ford Wheaton, and I love JT Daniels.
Yep.
And I know Virginia Tech has a good defense, but I think West Virginia is getting at least 28 points in this game. I don't know what's going to happen on defense.
Yes.
I don't know what is going to happen with turnovers. I don't know what the hell Neal's going to do when the game gets tight, if it gets tight late. And I don't want my money. I said I'm not putting any more money on Neal Brown this year, and I'm not. But I'm going to put it on the offense, 25.5. I really like that. Give me that for 2 units. Give me that.
Me too, bro. That's a squad ride. Can we go? Can we get boom? Can we do a boom on 3? Like 1, 2, 3. Boom.
West Virginia over 25.5, 26.5. I'm just going to tell you
no way, dude. They score 30 points a game.
Yeah, that when I looked at that game, after I talked to you, I said I'm going to look at this game. I want to see if there's anything I like.
Yes. That's my favorite play of the week. West Virginia team total over 26.5 is my favorite play.
We talked about. Do you want me to put that on the pod for you?
Yeah, add that, please. I have that off. I want you to put it on.
I'm going to give you 25.5 because that's what I got it at.
You know what else I added? But it's off pod, so this doesn't count to the record.
Yeah.
But I'm going to say it, but don't add it to the card.
I'm not adding it.
West Virginia team total over 13.5 second half.
Okay.
Is that a smart pick?
I think West Virginia,
more points in the second half.
I'm just going to tell you this. If we lose this fucking game.
Yeah, he's gone.
He's gone. You can't lose this game. We said the Pitt game was the biggest game. It was.
He lost it. And it was.
And then he lost to Kansas, which is probably not looking as bad as his worst loss ever, but the way the defense played and
you can't be the worst team in the Big 12 this year. You cannot be the worst team in the Big 12.
Not after the hype. Give me over 20. And like I'm saying, I don't see any way that West Virginia is going to get over this. And if they don't, he's going to get Herm Edwards and fired on the field. So it's going to be Shane Lyons, Bob Huggins, me and the Mountaineer giving him a $100 handshake. Thanks for your service. I hear I hear Little General's hiring. So whatever. But that's what I have. I'm going to do a quick recap.
Here's what Neal does. After he gets fired. Because this is what they do at Kentucky.
Releases a fucking presidential video?
No. Kentucky has the system where they just bring a new offensive coordinator every year from the NFL. This guy goes back to the NFL at the end of the year because they dominate every year now in Kentucky, apparently. Neal goes back home, becomes offensive coordinator at Kentucky.
If you hire Neal Brown to be your offensive coordinator, you need to have a psych evaluation. I would not let him coach a high school offense. He is the worst offensive fucking minded coach I've ever seen. And I want to rest in peace, Bill Stewart, because I criticize his offense a lot.
Bubble screen every play?
I don't know what Neal Brown's offense is other than let's not try to get too many yards. Let's not try to hurt the other team's feelings. It's like he's always trying to skirt a mercy rule in a middle school football game.
Dang. Yeah, he never has the gut punch.
He's never punched. Dana dropped 70 on Clemson.
Yeah. He's like, well, I'm just going to keep scoring. Why would I?
Neal would never. Neal would get up like 40-10, and he would just start. He said, let's play conservative. He'd be punting on third down. If Neal could legally punt on third down without getting fired, he'd fucking do it. If it was 2nd and 18, he'd be like, let's just kneel it. We don't want to risk it.
He did kneel a PAT once.
I can't stand him.
Do you remember that against NC State at home?
Mm-hmm.
We were like, he's an analytics genius.
I don't know what
football on the PAT.
And I just need to vent. I need to get this out because it's cathartic. I like Neil Brown a lot.
Me too.
Every time I see him talk, I think he seems like a great guy.
Yeah.
He seems like he's great for the program.
Yeah. He's no scandal coming out of there.
No scandal. But at the end of the day, you lost so many players to the portal, and your offense is completely anemic. Not completely anemic, excuse me. It's been very good.
The offense is killer.
Yeah, your clutch play calling whenever you need it most. Whenever the stage is the biggest, that's when he's the smallest, and we're all about being huge on this pod.
We are all about being huge, man. I think that's perfect. I do have to say one more thing. I listened to Neil Brown's press conference today because I was bored in my office, and he was talking to the reporter, and he said he goes, I can still see that Pitt interception like right in front of me, like it was slow motion.
Yeah,
dude, that's just such a brutal way to lose. Because dude, you're driving down the field and you know you're gonna score and you know you're gonna win the game, and it's just like the best player clanks one, man.
Do you know what I see, Neil? You punting with 3 inches to go with a fucking running back that's averaging 17 yards a carry.
That was bad.
That kid, first of all, that kid's not going to be here next year. He's going to be at Miami.
I know.
He's going to be at Miami. Adai has already called him. Okay, so he's gone. So enjoy him for 6 more years. He's going to get a random foot injury next week, and he won't play anymore.
That's why that like West Virginia is doing everything they can to like not really promote this guy.
Yeah.
Did you know? Did you know? Like, Neil didn't give him like offensive player of the week this week.
Of course not. I would give this kid 30 carries until he threw up. I would just run this kid and just see
when we get into conference. I think when we get into conference play and we need wins bad, I think that's what it's going to be. I just don't think he wants to put too much out there on tape right now.
I think that if we lose this Virginia Tech game, I don't think we win another game this year. So there you go.
I buy that. Hey, I buy that. Where are they coming from? Look at the schedule. Where are they coming from?
Big 12 is good, but that's pretty much it. Are you good? Do you want me to recap these picks?
Recap them.
Right. Frankie, Coastal Carolina minus 2.5, 2-unit play. UCLA minus 21, 1-unit play. Cincy, that's my hometown team right now, minus 16, 1-unit play. ECU,
go to Nippert and check that game out for me.
I know a couple people go to Nippert. It won't be me. ECU minus 17, 1-unit play. USC minus 6.5.
Yep.
2-unit play.
Yep.
West Virginia Mountaineers money line minus 122 unit play. West Virginia team total over 25.5. I'm giving you what I got it because that's what I get you.
You're a man of honor. You're a man of honor.
And thank you. And I'm going to go back to mine a little lighter on the card. West Virginia over 2.5, 2-unit play. Air Force first half minus 13, 1-unit play. Florida plus 10.5, 2-unit play. Ooh. USC minus 1, Kansas minus 2, plus 120, 1-unit play. And Clemson minus 7, 2-unit play. That's my favorite play of the week.
We're playing a lot more 2 units.
We are. I was close to making Clemson a 3-unit. I am going to have
make it a 3.
No, I'm not. I'm bankroll management.
Didn't you just talk about Neil being conservative?
Listen, Neil's not up plus 12 fucking units. So
all right,
he's 2 wins. If Neil was 3-0 right now, then yeah, I'd say do whatever you want. But that's all I got.
That's all I got. I think that was great, man. This is a really good episode, folks. Follow DJNYC on Instagram. Make sure to subscribe to the show because it's growing, and I want you guys to be a part of it. So it's everywhere your podcasts are. It's really quite easy to subscribe. So go out and do it. Give us a rating. You like it, don't like it, I don't care. Leave a comment, what have you. Every little bit helps. So thank you all very much for listening. Let's have a good week this week, huh? Yeah. How about it?
And apologies last week for the late episode. That's on me. We had some scheduling issues.
It's also on me. I had stuff. I had shows.
We had scheduling issues. We'd like to get it out by Thursday, but you know what? Like Frankie named the pod, it was better late than never because if you listen, you won.
Yeah, so, it came out on Saturday morning. If you listen to it before the game's kicked, you won money.
So we want to give you guys winners, and we'd rather take our time and give you winners than rush it out and give you losers. So
that's right.
Thank you, Frankie. Good picks, good talk, good pod. Keep it rolling. Let's go. Stack those papers, man.
Peace.
Peace, broski.